Next, we're going to hear from a woman who has beaten cancer not once, not twice, but 5 times. Marian Carroll is originally from Cork, but has been living in Ennis for the past 7 years. The period from 2012 to 2016 is one that Marian will never forget, or indeed want to relive, as she went through 5 separate cancer-related operations, followed by a bout of chemotherapy. Marian has now turned her experience into a series of calendars and poetry books with the intention of donating part of the profits to cancer-related charities. I've been speaking with Marian, who began by telling me about her first brush with cancer.
When I was diagnosed with cancer back then, it was a little frightening and overwhelming, I would have to say. I was told that I had it in my gallbladder.
And can I ask you, Marian, how did you find out? How did you discover something, or were you feeling a certain way, or was it just a regular checkup and this turned up?
I was feeling pain in my right side. It was continuing and, that kind of thing. So I was told I'd need to have an operation to have gallbladder and gallstones removed.
And being told you have cancer, it's in your gallbladder.
Yeah. What's
going through your mind?
Would I survive it, I suppose?
I'm sure shock, but was there fear? Were you scared?
Yeah, I was terrified, yeah. But I find at times I can be fairly resilient and I have good faith. I have a good husband who's, from the word go, has given me great support. And I think I just decided, I'll face into this and deal with it.
Well, I think those are 3 great pillars to have: resilience, faith, and a partner who has your back, is there by your side as well.
Yeah.
So you're told you have to have an operation. Marian, this is 2012.
Yeah.
What happens from there?
Well, had that operation, obviously.
And everything went okay? The gallbladder was removed?
Yeah, everything was okay. I suppose a year later, I was told that it had come back and it was now in my bowel. So I needed to go and have part of my bowel removed.
Second time around, I mean, when you have your gallbladder removed, was there a part of you that thinks, right, that's it, brush the hands, done and dusted? Or was there a nagging sense in your mind, Marian, well, cancer's come before, could it return?
I suppose, yeah.
You did have that sense, maybe there was a possibility?
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Was it any less strange hearing it a second time?
I don't know. I suppose it was hard to take. I thought I was done with this, Yeah. So, but again, I had to kind of take on the same approach and just face into it again,
What did that involve?
Trying to find the belief that I would come through it. I started to think about ways of dealing with it. I felt very frustrated and a bit of anger,
Yeah. And did that anger come from, why me again? What did I do to deserve this?
Well, I just thought, what's going on, in my body? So I kind of upped my exercise, like going to the pool more often, walking my dog more regularly, getting on my bike, doing things that I enjoy doing in the hope that the day would pass easier and I wouldn't think so much about what was going on or how all this came about.
And I guess all of that, Marian, they're healthy pursuits and keeping your body as healthy as possible. I'm sure having a positive mindset can help. If being in a negative mindset isn't good for your body.
Yeah. So it was just, and of course my faith and everything. I was, saying my prayers and being a good girl.
And how long passed from finding out for the second time you'd cancer, this time in your bowel, to presumably having an operation?
I think that was the end of the second year, was it?
It's maybe around 2013 direction, or?
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
Okay. And again, all well following that operation?
Yeah. I see. I was difficult to recover.
Difficult in the sense that were you just fatigued or worn down or worn out after it all?
Yeah, very fatigued, low energy. Yeah, which has stayed with me actually. That low energy. And
did that take some time to get over before you kind of returned to being yourself again?
Yeah, I suppose a few months went by. I suppose it took me a few months to get back into things that I like doing, like my activities. But I kept up my writing and my sketching. If I had days when I didn't have much energy, I would just go to bed for the afternoon and do a bit of sketching and that kind of thing.
And that creative side of you, being the writing and the sketching, was that something you were always doing, or did that just come about as a consequence of what you were going through?
Well, I always liked sketching and that kind of thing, and crafts, and I love making things with my hands and that. But I think it became much more concentrated once the operation started. My first operation, actually, I asked my husband Tony to bring me in a sketch pad and a few pencils. All I could move was my left hand, so I was able to, lying on the bed, just do little rough sketches of little characters and things. Yeah. That's where the story started.
Okay, so you were already compiling material, shall we say?
It. Yeah.
You didn't know then what it would become.
Yeah.
Marian, I wish this was the end of the story.
Yeah.
For someone to have gone through cancer twice is more than you'd wish on your worst enemy. Unfortunately, though, there's a kind of element of Groundhog Day to this, because this is all in a 4-year period from 2012 to 2016. We've spoken about 2 operations.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there wasn't just another 1 or 2. There were another 5 operations in a 4-year period. More cancer diagnosis. How long after the bowel cancer episode did cancer return? And tell us about the 3 further times that it unfortunately reared its head.
I had about a year and a half, maybe, of a break. And then I was told that I had it in my liver.
Did you ever wonder what you did wrong in your life?
I suppose.
Who did you speak ill of, or what was it?
Well, I suppose I just thought, well, this is my story, this is my life.
So you find out it's in your liver on the 3rd occasion.
Yeah.
Again, are we talking about a couple of months process before an operation? And was it, removal of part of the liver, or how did that work?
Well, the medical people told me that they wouldn't delay on it, because it needed to come out. They didn't want to waste too much time. So I think I was given about 6 weeks, and then I was called in. You
were probably happy with that, though. The sooner you got it dealt with, the better.
Yeah. So they removed half of my liver. Just as well that the liver grows again, isn't it? Yeah.
Half the liver gone.
Yeah.
That's occasion number 3.
Yeah.
How long was it until the 4th time?
When I got the prognosis for the liver, they said that they would also have to look at my left lung. So within the process of, I think it was 7 weeks, I had the liver removed, half the liver removed, and then I had part of my left lung removed about 7 weeks later.
Okay, so wow, you're dealing quite a lot.
They told me it was important then to move on those 2 operations.
What was the reason behind the 5th operation?
The 5th one was on my left lung again.
So you two on your left lung?
Yeah. The lower part of the left lung was removed in the first operation, or the 4th, we'll say, and the 5th one, the top of my left lung. So there's very little of that lung left now.
I am not surprised. I can't believe we've even discussed 5 separate operations to do with cancers. An incredible amount. In the following year, 2017, you underwent chemo.
That's right.
Was that because you had been through so many scares that they wanted to try and get ahead of it if it was ever to crop up again?
Yeah, just to make sure that everything was cleared away, all the cancer was cleared away, yeah.
And how long did the chemo treatment last for, Marian?
That was about 6-7 months.
That must have been tough. Anyone who's been through chemo, it's necessary, but it takes so much out of you.
It does, because, you lose so much of yourself, including the hair.
You became very familiar with hats, I presume, at that occasion.
Yeah. I started making my own scarves and that, But I suppose after about 6-7 weeks, my hair started falling out. So what was left, Tony said I might as well cut it off, so I did.
And that's going to happen, but I think particularly for a woman as well, maybe they feel it more keenly than men would.
Yeah, probably.
I'm not saying I'd like to lose my hair, but
okay.
Even though it's coming, can you ever truly brace yourself for that?
It was strange to have no hair, I have to say.
Colder.
Colder, yeah.
But as I mentioned, necessary. So you go through all of that chemotherapy treatment, you get the all clear, and you're kind of out of the wood, so to speak. But I mean, it's not the end of the story in the sense that presumably ever since then, over the past 8-9 years, you've needed checkups.
Oh yes, I go for a checkup every 6 months in Limerick University Hospital. Once I have the checkup, I get a call then into oncology, say about 3 or 4 weeks after that, to see Dr. Carpenthy. He's my specialist there, and he's been absolutely fantastic. I must say I'm getting great care there, and I'm really happy about it, Well,
all of this is more than any one person should have to go through, but if any good has come out of it, it's all of these items in front of me which have been created by you, and it returns me to the calendars and poetry books you have created. The calendar for 2026, Cancer, wow, I've beaten cancer, with the lovely illustrations. Are the illustrations done by yourself as well? Yeah, they're your sketches.
Yeah.
Talk to me a little bit about the calendar and the poetry book as well, because the calendar itself each month tells a kind of a successive part of the story. There's different illustrations that are thematically linked.
That's right, yeah. I must go back to my first operation again for a moment to say that when I was sketching after that first operation, I didn't know where these sketches would take me. And I started doing little sketches for a children's book. Along the way, then I started writing poetry and little short stories, and then the poem about the cancer, surviving the cancer. And as time went on, I'm kind of going from, the children. I'm doing 2 children's books at the moment. And that's what I thought I would actually have out first. But along the way, the poetry was coming together as well. Obviously, what got published, my first publication in, December 2025, has been the calendars and the poetry books around the cancer.
Okay, and the poetry book, similar title, Cancer, wow, I've beaten cancer, a poet's story in rhyme. And all of these works, be it the poetry book or the calendars, and they come in different sizes as well. I've got these smaller, more neat efforts to my left. Parts of the profits from these are going towards cancer-related charities, which I think is a lovely touch as well.
I would hope to do that, yeah, definitely, because obviously cancer is almost in every household now, isn't it? It's sad to say. So I feel very lucky that I was given the choice of operations and chemo to remove my cancer. Other people might not be so fortunate, and that's one thing that I do think a lot about. But looking at research and everything, there is obviously a lot of funding needed in cancer research and so forth. So I'm just trying to do maybe a little bit give them a little bit of support somewhere. It's just my small effort, say thank you.
It's a nice kind of paid forward gesture. You appreciate the help and support and treatment that was there for you.
Yeah.
And you want to ensure that similar help, support and treatment remains in place for those who, if they unfortunately have to go down the road that you went down.
Yeah.
If people want to buy or purchase the poetry books or the calendars, Marian, where can they get them?
At the moment, I'm just branching out now in all of that area. They are in a new bookshop in Cork, in books. They've taken some from me. I'm hoping to have 2 book launches. I haven't yet got the confirmation on those, so I'm waiting.
Okay, well, once you have confirmation of dates and venues, you can let us know, and we'll let people know as well. I should point out there's 2 volumes of the poetry book, and I wonder, Marian, would you do us the honour of finishing by reading one of your poems?
Yeah, I would, because it would be a great help to me, because I'm not used to public speaking, and I'm hoping to maybe, once I do the book launch, I've already been asked, will I recite something at the book launch? So I'm trying to come round to...
Well, think of this as your X Factor style audition.
Yeah, well...
So what poem would you like to read for us?
The poem that's central to all of this is the first poem I wrote. It's Cancer, wow, I've beaten cancer.
Okay.
So all the other poems have come from that. Okay,
you're taking us back to the source. So.
Yeah.
Okay, if you wouldn't mind reading that poem, Cancer, wow, I've beaten cancer, by Marian Carroll.
Cancer, wow, I've beaten cancer. Put it in a bag, took it to the bog and buried it in the blinding fog. It's only a disease, just like getting fleas. Shake it off, now I'm really free. Why, it had such a hold and was very, very bold, clinging on, taking my control. It has never ever bargained on a person such as me, but I'm a tiger in the ring who can make my body sing. 12 years of cancer played havoc with my body. Operations, pains and drips made me feel so very broken. Battle on, I told myself I'll beat this thing. Good cells, bad cells battling with each other. Blood is pumping fine as my heart gives a chime. Cancer, cancer, wow, I've beaten cancer. Put it in a bag, took it to the bog and buried it in the blinding fog.
And hopefully that is where it will remain forevermore. So say all of us.
Yeah.
Marian Carroll, thank you so much for reading us your poem and for sharing your unbelievably tough story, but delighted that you have come through a traumatic 4 or 5 year period, and good health to you going forward. And we hope that the books and the calendar do well for you, because if they do well for you, they're going to do well for the cancer related charities as well. Marian Carroll, thank you very much for joining me in studio.
Thank you so much, Alan.